Hey, what's going on? So, in this video, there's no screen share, just me. I wanted to tell you at least one or two painful lessons that I've learned from just making a lot of mistakes in ActiveCampaign over the years. And you might find these a bit entertaining. So, one, the first guy that ever paid me on a monthly retainer, I remember him well. We're still connected on Facebook and social, but he was paying me, and it was just me back then. It was me, and I might have had like one helper on the team, like 2 or 3 hours a week. Pretty much just me, right? And I would design and write his email newsletters every week. So typically it was like 30, 45 minutes, but this one week he was being so particular about design that I ended up spending 8 hours, right, going between desktop and mobile version, and just it was just design and color, and it wasn't even the words. It was so design focused, and this guy just made me get to a point where I literally, after that client, I ended up firing that client, but I ended up saying I'm never writing newsletters for a client again, and I'm not doing any design for people because it was a nightmare. But we did all this work, 8 hours, and this goes back to the previous video about keeping it simple. And the open rate on that email, as I recall, was 5%. 5%. And the calls to action and all the stuff you wanted in there, nothing happened. Nothing came out of it. So it was all for nothing. And I guarantee you within 2 to 3 days, the people that did open it forgot all about it. Nobody remembered the email. So I see this a lot with design stuff, right? Keep it simple. Don't stress out about design because it really doesn't matter. Touch points matter. Content matters. Design is so overrated. Just my experience. There's one painful lesson. Other ones I've had, I can think of clients that wanted, and this isn't about like me and the clients, but I can think of clients that wanted really, 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 really complicated automations built, and a ton of them. And we did that, and I was trying to say, no, this is easier, and they didn't want to do it that way. And in one case, one of the guys ended up going out of business, right? So even like 2 or 3 months after we finished all the stuff, he shut down the account and deleted it anyway because he went out of business. And it's like, there's obviously more to that story than I know, but man, if you were creating complicated processes everywhere in your business instead of focusing on the blocking and tackling, the fundamentals of making more than you spend, that's probably why you went out of business. So again, keep things simple. Another client I worked for one time, extremely complicated automations, and there was the largest amount I've ever done for one client. I want to say there was a couple hundred, right? And we would get them set up and working, and there was all this custom code using a feature called ActiveCampaign conversions. And people would go to a website and do something, and it would send a message back to ActiveCampaign, and there was hundreds of these automations. Well, we'd get them set up and working, and then the guy would want to change something. And the change would affect every single email and every automation. So it became absolutely insane. Again, I fired this client. And this guy, it was kind of funny, a while later, ended up leaving ActiveCampaign, ended up coming back, ended up leaving again, ended up coming back, ended up leaving again, and then when he came back, he sold his company, and he was like, hey, can you help me in this new software? And I'm like, bro, like, I'm not taking on any clients. Can't work with you anymore. But again, there was so much easier options that we could have done, but some people just get obsessed with trying to make it hard. Keep it simple. Goal-driven automations, nice and simple. Smaller automations as opposed to big ones. So, other lessons I've learned, I've talked about this a lot. Back-end, front-end traffic. So, ActiveCampaign, fortunately, is what I call the back end of the sales funnel. So, you bought this course, you obviously have ActiveCampaign. You're focused on what happens after somebody joins your list. It's really smart. It's the foundation of your digital marketing. It's the most important part of your funnel. If you don't have a website, now once you get this stuff set up, then you go build a website, landing pages, etc. The final piece is traffic. That's grabbing attention online and offline, directing it somewhere online like a web page or landing page. Once you do that, you have your full funnel. The traffic piece never goes away, okay? But doing this last makes no sense, and most people do it that way. So anyway, painful lessons that I've learned. Why is that painful for me? Took me 2.5 years of being able to get a lot of attention online and not make any money with it to realize that I had it all backwards. My priorities were backwards. So if that sounds like you, instead of traffic, front end, back end, flip it 180 degrees. Let me know how that works for you. All right. That's all I've got for you for right now. Maybe I'll add a second video to this in the future, but there's a lot. There's a lot of pain. I'm just trying to think of other things. Well, there's some pain I'll share in the next video as well. It's a little bit different topic, but there's definitely pain associated with it. So appreciate your time and attention. Hopefully you got a giggle at my expense. More importantly, hope it teaches you something to keep you out of these scenarios yourself. See you soon.